Hey everyone, welcome back. It's been some time since I had a direct discussion on my videos, and it seems like the leaks this time around might have been correct. They predicted the upcoming banner order of TerraCeia, then Klukai and then Mekti, and it looks to be lining up correctly. We know our next character release is TerraCeia, and we also just got a hint from the official Balan Island broadcast about the character after that. If you decipher the Morse code, I believe it gives you 811694. Further deciphering it, you get 8 equals H, 11 equals K from the alphabet numbering, and if you subtract rest of the digits from 10, you get 4, 1 and 6. That means HK416, or in other language Klukai, is confirmed. She is probably the most anticipated and hyped character for GFL2, and many players are still undecided on should I pull for a V0, V3 or V6. Is it worth dumping all my resources into getting her? Well, let's discuss that, and I'll try to answer that as best as possible from my research, and hopefully that will help guide your pulls and resource management. Before heading into it, I want to quickly preface that GFL2 is not that competitive of a game where you need to chase the best meta characters to be able to clear endgame content, and is more like a casual waifu collector. And of course, as the wise March 7th one said, remember, waifus over meta. Always. So if Klukai is your waifu and you want to go all in, by all means, just do it. But I want to start with this, even if she is not waifu and you particularly don't want to pull for her, my only suggestion is to at least get her one copy. She is the premium AoE unit of this game, even at V0, and she trivializes all of the general mobbing stages of this game better than anyone else. It will just be a quality of life boost to your account overall. So yeah, at least get her V0 and you will be sorted. Also, I think like in CN, we will also get this skin of her for free, so you need to have her to appreciate it in your dorm. Now, in order to understand the V3 versus V6, let's compare them a bit. Credit to TerraCeia from Reddit. You can see from this footage how her V3 and V6 may differ in practical usage against bossing. Her V0 doesn't have the double ultimate. V0 to V3 is like 93% DPS increase, and the general consensus is that she becomes as good or better than other single target DPSs like Chongju, and that's why many consider it the must pull Dupe breakpoint. And then from V3 to V6 is like a 104% DPS increase, and at that level she is the best unit in the game. As you can see from the footage though, at high level she is preferred to be played alongside Peritia and Mekti, and as you can see, V6 allows 2 more extra instances of Peritia support attacks with her ultimate than V3. So is topping at V3 a good idea, or you need to go for V6? If you are a whale or you have saved everything and you want to get the best from her, go for her V6. That's when she shines the most. Is V3 bad then? No, as I mentioned earlier, at V3 she becomes all around good for all types of game content. AoE mobbing as well as bossing, and her single target DPS does become comparable to other top tier units like QJ. Another advantage is, although not at her best, she can pretty much slot into any other team and work without a core support, and she will probably still out DPS others in that team. So she's pretty versatile. So if you eventually plan to V6 her, then V3 is a really good stopping point for now. But if you don't plan to V6 her and you don't really have abundant resources for later units after V3ing her, is that still really a good idea to V3 her then? Is it worth investing everything you have right now to just V3 her and then stop? Will that improve your account? Not really. It doesn't become the best recommendation then, especially for F2Ps or dolphins whose main goal is to build strong teams for endgame. I did talk about it in my F2P future pull planning video a little bit as well, but the main question regarding getting V3 Klukai is, why do you want to get V3 Klukai? Is it just so she becomes good at bossing? If so, what's the endgame bossing stage you are targeting? It's probably Gunsmoke Frontline, right? So why don't you just borrow a V6 Klukai from your platoon instead of your V3 Klukai then? That's more effective. And in my opinion, your resources will be better utilized on building 2 really strong meta teams than having 1 really strong meta unit. I'm pretty sure everyone will keep building their QJ and Tololo with more dupes as the game goes on, as they are standard banner units and they are top meta units as well. And you will have access to 2 of the strongest meta teams with Vector V1 and Springfield V1 respectively. Keep in mind, in both cases you are pulling for 4 limited units. You will have the best burn team with Vector V1, maybe Chihuahua later on, and a fully built QJ. And you will have the meta hydro team just with Springfield V1 and Tololo V2. This will surely be more impactful for your account, and you will have a better return on investment in long term over having just V3 Klukai. You can slot in a V6 Klukai from support anytime along with your two best teams to make your teams even stronger. So I would recommend to just have a V0 Klukai now and make sure to get the other essential units for your account before you can invest more on Klukai when her rerun comes back. Also, if you are planning to build a corrosion team, you need to make sure to have enough to get Mekti right after Klukai banner. There's that as well. So what have we learned? Firstly, V0 Klukai is fantastic and you should get her just to improve your account and roll through any AoE content. If you want to be a Klukai main, get her at V6. If you can't do that now and thinking of just V3ing her with all the resources you have, maybe consider building two solid teams first and then investing more on Klukai, rather than not having enough resources later on to pull for other essential units. Vector V1 and Springfield V1 are the two most F2P friendly essential units an account can have, so maybe consider getting them. If you would like to build other teams with other characters, prioritize them over chasing Klukai dupes. Don't be pressured. And lastly, if you don't care about meta, you are based and you are playing the game correct. That's all everyone. I'll cover TerraCeia in my next video, and I'll also have a complete Klukai review closer to her release with more details, so stay tuned for them. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you are planning to pull for. Are you going all in for Klukai or focusing on other units? Catch you in the next one.